Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I would like to say good evening to everybody once again. I just want to make sure that I share the screen so that everybody may be able to see what I'll be sharing with you, as I'm going to be taking you through step by step, so that at least you may be able to benefit from this module. Eh?
Okay.
But let's continue. So to just give you a brief history, I've been helping with EUP since 2015. So I don't have the 2015 files. So this year, since 2021, it's now my 60th year helping out with EUP. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy, as I will also look forward to producing distinction in each and every one of you. So let's then get started. So with all that, I just did my PowerPoint presentation. Please note that I'll be working with you step by step. All right, EUP is a module. I think you've already identified that it's written or labeled as ethical information and communication technologies for development solutions. So to make it much more easier, we are intending on getting solutions which are going to help us to see development in us, even in outside. But while we see development, we will be using technologies to communicate. And what are we going to be communicating? It's information, but the information which is ethical. I hope you understood this, Progi and my sister Nonto.
Yes, I understand.
I just gave you the module definition in a simple term, that we are looking for solutions, or we're going to come up with solutions to help us to develop. And in these solutions that are helping us to develop, we're using technology to communicate, and we're communicating information which is ethical. For example, as we are currently interacting, we are using Zoom. And it is a solution to offer us development. What kind of development? You guys are learning, so you are being developed. Am I right, Progi and Mrs. Nondo?
Yes.
Yes, you're
You
right.
are being developed. And it's a solution as this technology. So it's a technology which is helping us to ensure that there is development in us learning, even in us working or collaborating. So it is technology, and we are currently communicating. Why are we communicating? We're communicating information, which is ethical. So we are going to go straight away to further items, so that at least you may have a brief understanding of where we are going and where we're coming from. But to make it much more easier, I want you to know that this module has 9 assignments and 1 portfolio. It has 4 sections of the portfolio. In that portfolio, which is 1, it has 4 sections in the portfolio: section A, B, C, and D. Now, when we come back to the assignments, which are 9 of these assignments, we have assignment number 1, 3, 5, and 8, which are discussions, and they are supposed to be submitted on my.unisa.ac.za, which is where you log on generally. Then you have assignment number 2, 4, 6, and 7, which is called My IT Labs, which is instantly marked on this website, which is unisa.ac.za.mylabsplus.com. Now, this requires that we have a functional PC. Yes, you can have a PC, but which is not functional. So your PC must be functional before you attempt assignment number 2, which your PC must have Microsoft Office 2013 or 2016 or 2019 or 2020 or 365. That's just a brief overview. Then we also have assignment number 9, which is the blog. It is the last of this assignment number, these 9 assignments. It's assignment number 9. Then we cross straight away to portfolio. It's called a blog. But assignment number 8 is the hardest to learn, but it is very exciting. Of all the assignments that we're gonna do in this module, the hardest of them assignments to learn is assignment number 8. I hope we are still on the same page. This is Nonto and Progi.
We
We
are.
are. But I'm just confused on my IT labs. So,
Okay, ask, you can go ahead and ask.
so on assignment 2, 4, 6, and 7, you will have to attend a tutorial, then go to my labs.
That's exactly. We'll attend tutorials and then we'll go to my labs.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly. You don't have to hesitate. When we have done tutorials, you definitely get 100% on all the 4 MyIT labs.
Oh.
Because the tutorials are going to be clear.
Okay.
Happy?
Happy.
All right. I'm glad they say Kiska Bora Moreke. So let's continue. All right. Now, what are the benefits of completing EUP? Many people get frustrated by this module because of other reasons, but I've got a lot of benefits that you're going to have after this module. Your office support expertise will shoot higher. In other words, what you do in the office, you're playing around with all those things, you'll be able to be kind of cool. You stand a chance of being hired over others because of you now know more of these things pertaining to digital divide. You now understand your Microsoft Office products very well. So I think it's a very good module to ensure that we work on. You could also simplify your life by getting rid of the technophobia. This module, already we are joining classes via Zoom. By the end of this module, you'll have learned quite a couple of other techniques that we have, other softwares, other things that we're going to be dealing with. So I encourage you to ensure that you learn how to use, or rather to learn this module so that at least that technophobia. I also believe that this module could boost your confidence level, your ego level. In other words, I'm looking forward to seeing you being confident in IT, saying, I know my thing, you know? You could also be able to teach your close relatives and cut costs. That's another thing that is the benefit of completing EUP. So yeah, learn so that you may be able to teach others, and learn so that you may be able to understand, because in future, you will definitely need to experience certain things on your own. You could create employment for yourself, for sustainability. This is after you learn this module. You read and you hear a lot of things, stories that happen. You read about quite a couple of stories that happen outside the world to just check how do they indeed fight poverty and all other things. You read those things and I believe they will inspire you. Well, on my next slide, I'm just presenting one of my top students. As you can see right here, her year mark was 96.1. She impressed us very well. That was in 2018. She worked very hard. She did things on her own. Assignment number 1, she got 85%, and it was marked retained. She got all these 100% going down up until assignment number 8, assignment number 9, and then she got 100% on the portfolio. So if she did it, you also can did it. I get it.
Most definitely.
Yes, most definitely. I like what you just said, Progi. I'm hearing my other sisters just saying, hey, can you tell me what does that mean, my sister? Sis Nonto?
Yes, I can see.
You can see, and can you also hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I can.
If she did it, you also can what?
Can do it.
You can did it. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. By the way, that's the lady that I eventually married. Ne? All right, if you're not happy, it's okay, no problem, but she did very well. She
No,
was
sorry, I am happy.
I understand you
I'm so
tired.
close. Sorry.
You haters, yes,
No.
I hear you, it's okay. So here's the thing. Assignment number 1 is about bridging the digital divide. But where are we going to get this assignment number 1? Then let me rather say, allow me to then take you straight away to
Common class.
this side, because we now need to get into this side. This is the MyUnisa side. I used my little sister's details and everything else. So we're going to be using this as demonstration as she's also doing this. And I'm looking forward to seeing distinctions going on. So while we're here, obviously we go to our sites and then we check on our sites. There's a lot of modules that we are doing, but we want to focus on the one that we're supposed to focus on, which is the EUP. So we are focused on EUP. We have this option and this option, but I want to use, it means that she has been grouped under the group 101T. So this mainly, if you're not yet grouped, you will not see this option, but this you will see when you're grouped. So I'm just going to temporarily just pin it there, and then I'm going to click on this option. All right, so this is where we're going to post our discussions once we are done in terms of what we are supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but
Yes, do you have a question?
no, sorry.
All right, do we have a new member in class?
Yes, my child.
All right, let the child join as we are about to teach the bridging of the digital divide. Ne? You can bring the whole family, it's okay. All right. Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable that we now continue?
We can proceed.
We can proceed. All right, thank you. So we are going to be dealing with the lesson number 1. In our lesson number 1, we are going to be able to complete assignment number 1 and 2 after we have finished lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, then we'll be able to complete assignment number 3 and assignment number 4. And like I said, we will read our content from lesson number 1. Then we'll later on come back and submit our discussions on the discussion group. So to ensure that we are all cool, I'm going to seemingly go the opposite direction. So we will come back to this option. I'm going to go to the discussions. On the discussions, this is for assignment number 1. Assignment number 3 is submitted on this lesson number 2. Assignment number 5 is submitted on lesson number 3. Then assignment number 8 is submitted on lesson number 4. So with this one, if we get inside, we will see that there is assignment number 1 right here. So this is your TA, who is your teaching assistant. If we click on assignment number 1, we will then see a question that has been posted right here. We will need to make sure when we are ready to submit our assignments, we'll come and click this reply here. Replying to this, not replying to the student who will have posted, but we need to reply to the post which was sent by your TA, which is this question. Now, to ensure that everything is going well, I need to just make sure that I just take you through 1 or 2 things. We are told here, please first read assignment number 1 instructions in lesson 1. They are advising us to ensure that we have read the instructions first. So when we are done reading the instructions, we will be able to come back and understand this line and understand the question, which is the question number 1, question number 2, and then question number 3. So I want to make sure that at least you guys get it very well. So my approach is that when we have the questions first, and we go to read, we read with the mindset of wanting to understand how we're going to answer the question. So I am going to start by saying, first of all, as we are going to first read the assignment, we are not going to attempt answering up until I am done. With all this. Now, I'm told the idea of the digital divide refers to the growing gap between the underprivileged members of society, especially the poor, rural, elderly, and handicapped portion of the population who do not have access to computers or the internet, and the wealthy, the middle class, and young living in urban and suburban area who have access. Now, when I read this, I had to read it over and over and over. Anyway, since mina obviously ngumuntu omnyama, black, you know how things go. This lungu, the English is somewhere, somehow, another way. So what I do, I go and I break it into portions so that at least I may be able to understand. We are talking about the bridging. So there is the digital divide. So when we have the divide, there is something that is dividing us, which is called the digital. So this term, they gave this term. So they're saying it is a term which refers to the growing gap, meaning that the gap is there and it is growing. Between who? So between this side of the story and the next side of the story. So what is the first side of the story? People who are underprivileged. They are excluded. These are underprivileged members of society. They are also people which are regarded as the poor in the society. They will not have certain access. People who are living in the rural areas, they are going to be limited from certain things that pertains to the digital side of things. If people are elderly, they are grown, there is a problem. The handicapped, people who are, there's a portion of people who are handicapped that are also affected. They don't have access to computers or the internet. So these people, they are different, or there is a huge gap that is there between them and the people we are about to talk about. We also have the wealthy. So if you have people who are poor and also have people who are wealthy, they are going to be on different terms. While other people are already talking about Zoom, attending Zoom classes, you know, yeah, cool, we can attend Zoom classes. You can send me the recordings and everything else. Yeah, I'll just watch them when I get home. Some people that are poor, they don't even know what is Zoom. They don't even know how to get Zoom. They might probably be having the black and white phones and they're still wondering, how do I access Zoom from my black and white phone? But there are also middle class people and others who are young, living in urban and suburban areas. We spoke of the elderly. Now we are talking about the young. People who are living here in the urban and suburban areas, comparing them to people who are living in the rural areas. So these ones who are in the suburban areas, they do have access, like they've got free Wi-Fi, you know, they've got the McDonald's, free Wi-Fi, your Tswane what, and your telecom. But if you go to your rural areas, you don't have this kind of things. So this explanation is summarized by this term, digital divide. That's the gap between the privileged and the underprivileged, the members of the society. Now, question number one is going to ask you, you will be able to answer best this question once you have gone through the articles that I sent you, plus what I'm going to just show you now. Now, we are told that the so-called digital divide is actually several gaps in one. There are many reasons that are causing this gap, this digital divide. Though we are calling it digital divide as a one umbrella term, it's actually many reasons that constitutes to this digital divide. Now, we are told we are supposed to list in order of priority the various gaps or factors you would like to address in the context of your country. Now, if you are from Mozambique, you are from Congo, you are from Zim, you address the gaps in context of your country. If you're South African, you address them also in the context of your country, South Africa. So you are supposed to list them in the order of priority. You mustn't forget that. Don't just list them. List them by saying, this is the most important one that I think I do have in my society. I will explain and I'll give you examples of this kind of gaps so that at least you may be able to what? List. What is it that is causing the gap? According to your own or according to Progi, it's according to you as the person who is writing this assignment. Question number 1, is it clear, Sisinondo? Sisinondo?
Yes, it's clear.
Progi, question number 1, is it clear?
Yes, it's also clear on my side.
I'm glad it's clear. Let's move on to the next one. When we have listed the gaps in the order of priority, so you can list your gap number 1, gap number 2, gap number 3, gap number 4, gap number 5. You can list the gaps that you see as a person. But remember, you must first read instructions that are given in lesson number 1 so that you may be able to answer question number 1, because you won't be able to answer question number 1 without understanding what is required. Now, after that, you will have to explain or discuss in your own view on the best way to narrow the digital divide. So here in number 1, you are identifying the problem, but remember, we are looking for solutions. So you then explain to us these problems. What is the meaning of the problems? You also discuss the best way to solve this problem for us, the problem which is the digital divide. When we are divided, we do not stand. So what can be done to ensure that we are united? This is supposed to happen in the context of your own country, based on your list. So you will be explaining and coming up with solutions to the list you have listed in question number 1. And you are required to reference your sources of your findings. For example, if you tell us that the problem is, I've heard people telling us that, you know what, the problem is based on an article that I once read, all men are dogs. You have already missed it. We want to see the way you got that. Is that place credible? Are all men dogs? It's based on who? Somebody who was angry. So we need to ensure that you reference and you give us the link that I got it on this place which is credible. That's why I said your information should be ethical, meaning that you need to have your findings done very well and they must be credible and they must be ethical. Therefore, when then we use another example, if you tell us that we have unemployment which is shoot to 36% or 54%, based on who? Did you count people that are not working? We did not see you in the streets counting people. So we will want you to tell us based on who. So in that example, you will then say based on maybe States SA, based on, I don't know, who might have counted. In that way, I am of the view that you will be able to benefit by making sure that you reference your findings. We will look into examples of this referencing of your findings so that at least we may be able to understand. When you are done with this, you then go and submit your assignment on the discussions that I've already showed you earlier on top there, so that you can be able to participate with others. They say you can use any one of the following references style. You can go and Google what is the Harvard referencing style. What about the IEEE? What about the APA and others, etc. So you can find other references so that you may then give us the link where you found that information. If it's a book, give us the book, the author, when the book was published, so that we may be able to go and look for that, where you found that information. So we will have been done with the assignment number 1, just writing. We will then have to compare on that discussions We need to compare what we posted and that of others who has also posted. In a nutshell, you need to go and compare the lists you have made with that of 3 other students in your group. You must then reply to each of the other students' posts with your comments that identifies what is common in the list and what is different. Do not merely comment your list is the same as mine, but engage with the discussions or explanation they gave. In other words, once you have posted your assignment, there are other students also who are going to post. So when they post, you will see what they've written. You need to then say things like, okay, I do understand what you have posted here, which indeed is the same as mine. I also relate with this matter as well. So it actually is interesting that I am what? Seeing that great minds things alike. It's an example of a good comment. You can also say, you know what, I disagree with your point here. I see that you put this point as what is more important. Anyway, while we have differed, I actually tend to think that this point matters the most because of most of the South African, maybe South African people from this age to this age went through apartheid. So that's the reason why we are having this huge gap of the elderly, not well inclined into the technology, except maybe the elite of the back in the days, which are most likely to be the ones who are currently right there. So you can give examples to say, look, for example, the accent of your Naledi, Miss Naledi Pando, you know, it can tell that, you know, she came from a very, very good background, you know what I mean? So it can be an issue of the accent. Anyway, coming down to explanations or engaging, you will need to post to 3 different students. If you do not do that, you will not get good marks. I am not the one who's going to be marking you, but I'm teaching you to say, indeed, you must post and don't just say, I agree, I disagree. You must really explain so that at least it may show that there is an engagement going on right there between you and the person you are posting to. I'm going to come back and ask Progi, did you understand what I just explained now pertaining to the step number 3?
Yes, I did.
Thank you, Progi. I'm glad you did. Sisinonto, did you understand what is required on step number 3?
So we are doing a debate.
You didn't have?
We're doing a debate like.
It is not really like a debate, but what's happening is you are discussing, you are engaging in a class, you are presenting your side of how you view things. You'll find that other people view things the same as you view. So you then just discuss, you know, when people maybe might be crying. I'm just giving an example. Let's say we see and we are talking, you know what, crime is just too much, yes.
Okay.
Last week, yes, they just or they just robbed somebody here in front of me, and it's just too much. And then somebody will be like, "Yo, Chomi, it's true. The crime is just too much." I heard of that same story, but me now I saw someone on another corner. In other words, you're just discussing where you relate. Now let's bring it into the context of this module. Somebody is going to say, "I personally think the elderly or the blind are being excluded, or people who are maybe disabled or handicapped are being excluded because they either don't see, so the things that we see, they struggle. So some of the softwares are not, most of the softwares are not designed for them to be able to interact with people who doesn't see." So somebody might be like, yeah, it's true. You know, I've got my cousin who is having the same challenge, and this is where they struggle, and you find that we are already ahead. So you see, we are kind of agreeing in areas we agree, right? But if somebody puts their point as very important, let's say somebody says, I think my number 1 is that the handicapped are very much affected. Then somebody says, yo, I feel like in South Africa, women, they are not being allowed. They are being neglected. maybe it's a cultural background. So don't attack the next person and say, what women, no, you shouldn't actually rather say that. You should be polite. In other words, you should be like, oh, interesting. From which side are you coming from? From my side, I'm coming from, I see that most of us as women has already been empowered. So we don't have such challenges. So which area would you be coming from? Because if it's indeed so challenging to find out that there are still, even right now, maybe sides or areas that still needs to be improved in terms of the cultural background. So this is like the type of engagement that will be happening on the texting. I don't know if it's clear, Sis Nonto.
Yes, it's clear.
Wonderful. I'm happy if it's clear. Emaxhoseni yakupha molo sis.
Hello, Molweni. I'm so sorry I'm late for class.
Hayi, kanti usoru velaphi? Akula soru ngela chocolate.
Uxolo thina uxolo.
Yo, abantu abamnyama no isixesha. You are misrepresenting the Xhosa land. Uthi uyothini ubaba uThabo Mbeki? Eva ukuba usisi wamaXhosa ufike iclass seyiyophela,
Iyophela nyani iclass.
Kodwa khululeka. You see, what I like, Yakuba, is that we have what we call Zoom. It is cloud recording. It records in the cloud. So meaning that you can catch up later. Technology, my dear.
Yes, true.
That's the advantage of this module. It is going to expose us and teach us to such privileges. Siyabulela i-lockdown ukuba abantu sebangena kuma-class online. And apha mina ndiyafundisa ndisengubeni in the blankets. For those that does not hear what I'm saying, I am right in the blankets and I'm so relaxed. That's
too much information.
Well, I'm saying I'm just chilled and relaxed. Too much information.
Okay.
Late. You owe us an apology. When a comrade, we must make you pay. All right, Sis Nonto.
Yes.
Okay, please just welcome the rest of your colleagues as they are joining. I think Sis Yakupa was the first one to join us on EUP.
And she's the last one to join us in class.
Yes, she's the last one.
Yay! No.
Yeah.
Hey, the irony of it.
Yes, Sis Nonto uthethi nyani uyenze kakuhle
ndiyabulela. Uthethi nyani Nonto. Ayikho right.
But also what's so exciting and interesting, we also have Progress, who is joining us right now from Pretoria, Mamelodi, Sundowns, Pretoria, Mahlanyi. So we are so excited to have Progi. Progi, can you please say hello to the rest of the sisters?
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Progi.
How are you guys doing?
We're good, and you?
I already foresee distinctions in all of you.
We receive them.
Since Mina, I am standing here as the man of God. Just say, go deeper, Papa. You will see.
Oh, deeper!
I see a distinction right there, Kuyakupa. Right there. I see it, my sister. I am seeing a distinction.
Yay, we want it. We want our lives, Philip. Yay, we need it.
Can I tell you the mark that I'm seeing already? The mark exactly that you are getting.
Yeah.
Sis Nonto, you must bring a seed. Bring a seed and I'll tell you the mysteries. But already I see distinctions. I'm already smelling them in our next next interaction.
Amen.
Mazise, huh? Ayikho into esiyifunayo. Sifuna lo gama elithi distinction xa we-marks zethu. Sifuna lo gama kanye.
Khululeka, you see, you are here on Mr. T. I normally call myself EUP doctor. In other words, I cure people who are suffering from EUP. Ne?
Please.
So What's important is I would like to ensure that in our class we are interactive and we laugh and we are cool, because when we learn while we are stiff, we can't learn flexibly and comfortably. So for me, it's very important that you guys should be reluctant and rejoicing. And don't worry, I already told you it's pass is guaranteed, number one. So I already, after interacting with you, I heard some of you guys, your English is very well. Well, others, their English might be challenging, but it's okay. You guys are very intelligent already. I've seen that you have elements. I actually had an individual talk with each and every one of you. So I believe that distinctions are indeed to you guaranteed. So we have got Sisia Gupa coming from an IT background as well. Sisia Gupa, you've got no choice. I am already seeing
I have no choice.
80 plus, Sisia Gupa.
Make it a 90.
Yeah, I said 80 plus. So 90, I'm glad at least you're talking 90. What is this? 2008. If somebody got me a distinction of 94.6 or 96.4, what about you? You can also do the same, Sisia Gupa.
Well, bring it on. EUP, now I know you.
Yeah, so relax. This is not, we already spoke and I'm excited. I can't wait for it from you saying Putin 96. Send me and say, go deeper. Yeah?
Go deeper, Papa. Go deeper.
Yeah, when you do that, allow me to prophesy now. Okay. All right. I think cool. We have done our laughing. So yeah, in our next segment right now, we are getting deeper. I'm just going to give you examples of the gaps and everything else. So we've been told that we're supposed to go and read instructions in lesson number 1. So where's lesson number 1? I see lesson number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3, lesson number 4. So assignment number 1 and 2 will be found under lesson number 1. Assignment number 3 and 4 will be found under lesson 2. Assignment number 5 and 6 will be found under lesson 3. And under lesson 4, we'll find lesson 6 and 7. This one, we're going to deal with Excel and more about Excel. This is where you will find that most hardest assignment, which is assignment number 8. Yeah, it is the most hardest in learning. Like for me to teach you this assignment, I normally take the whole day when I teach people physically. So it is the longest assignment that I take to teach so that you may be able to understand and go and discuss with others. On that note, let's ensure that we get to enjoy. Now, when we talk of my IT labs, we said my IT labs is 2, 4, 6, and 7. So we'll find my IT labs on assignment number 2 here. We'll find my IT labs on assignment number 4. We'll find my IT labs on assignment number 6, and we'll find my IT labs on assignment number 7. So don't worry about my IT labs for now. For me, what's critically important and urgently important is that we may be able to get started with this assignment number 1. Remember, assignment number 1 contributes to portfolio section A. And assignment number 3 contributes to portfolio section B. And section C and section D, they stand on their own. However, we will learn quite a couple of things on ethics and copyright. That's where we'll find some components that we are going to deal with on portfolio section D. On that note, I am of the view that you guys are ready to get started. So now let's go to lesson number 1 and be able to have a look at bridging the digital divide. So the most important thing is to create a bridge. We know when we have a river, umfula, it's not just nice to just have umfula, and we just keep on crying umfula. So we could say umfula is a problem to people that are living on the other side that wants to cross to the other side to school. So for us to solve the problem of them crossing to the other side, we need to put a bridge. So a bridge is a solution to a problem. Now we have a problem which is called digital, and there is a divide of the digital. We now need to bridge to ensure that this divide of the digital has been bridged. In other words, when we had the grannies that did not have access to IT. We need to come up with how can we make that happen? If we had the handicapped who had no access to IT, how can we provide solutions now? If we had problems in terms of people who are staying in the rural areas, what are the solutions? Because we need to come up with solutions. So bridging is a solution. Consider this being a solution being provided to where there is the digital divide. So there is a divide, but we are talking about the digital side of things. We'll also learn about Excel, Microsoft Word, because in Microsoft Word, we're going to be able to write things and cross very well. Now, if we come inside of overview of lesson number 1, we start by understanding development. So here is where we have our assignment number 1, but we first go through understanding development. You can go through the issues pertaining to the overview of lesson number 1. We could start there and we read, just go through, just familiarizing the important key terms for you guys to be aware of. So you'll be able to benefit. And then from there, you go to the next portion. You then understand that you need to read the materials which are provided. And we say next again, you come to read quite a couple of just things right here. If you don't like reading, I'm sorry, you're in trouble. But I need you to know that there is a section which is called 1.9, Bridging of the Digital Divide. I already sent it to you. There is a lot that you can read, but I already sent you the article that you need to read about bridging of the digital divide. So with all that, we can then continue and get to the point of saying, all right, we should get started. So in this instance per se, they're already just letting you know that you need to be ready. They also need to emphasize issues of plagiarism. Don't copy from anybody. You must make sure you do your own work. All right. Now, they are saying here, you read about bridging the digital divide from page 44 to page 46 in chapter 1, understanding development. So it's section 1.9, which is the part which deals with assignment number 1 and section A, portfolio. Because of the nature of this module, there's a lot of reading that has to be done in this module. You then find that that question that we were reading on assignment number 1, the so-called digital divide, is also coming back again here. But it is there to just help you to understand that you should prepare for your assignment. How do they mark you when they mark you? If the document was plagiarized, they'll give you 1%. If you provide the list, but not those lists being adequate, you will get your 20%, 30%, or 40%. They should be adequate to the question that has been set. You must provide the lists that are adequate, which adequately answers the questions that has been set. In that way, you will get 50%. Now, if you have also shown adequate engagement with other students, if you don't engage with other students, don't expect to get 60%. And please don't blame any Tokoloshi. It will be you. So make sure that you are aware of how this is marked. All right. If you provide good quality lists, which has adequate discussions and or good quality replies that has been provided to other students, that answers and shows references to other students, that also has these kind of references that we already spoken about, the Harvard, IEEE, and APA, you'll get your 70% and your 85%. If you provide exceptional, groundbreaking ideas, you'll get 100%. So our intention here is to ensure that we get to the exceptional, groundbreaking ideas. These are ideas to solve the problem, how we can bridge the gap so that we can be able to be given 100%. All right, I think by that, we'll be done with what is required for assignment number 1, according to the article. Now, they said you have read. I see there's a lot of reading to be done right here. There's a lot of reading. So they then speak of section 1.9, bridging the digital divide, which is right here. You could read the things that are written in this article. As you read, you go down in the section, you then get answers. So on 1.9, now you're done. This is 1.10. If you have time, you can read everything. So I then summarized and narrowed some of the things that are inside here. You then find additional things for you to reach exceptional, groundbreaking results. Now, let me quickly then walk you through the points that I have already put together to help you to ensure that you are sorted on the bridging of the digital divide. Okay. All right, I already briefed you and I've just informed you. You'll be able to know how to reference, how to submit. I've already shown you how to submit, where to submit, and also that it contributes to portfolio section A, and also where to find the article. I've already demonstrated that. Now let's continue straight away. This is also something that I put together, compiled, so that at least you guys can just find the questions and be ready to answer. All right, let me just quickly check something here. All right, you are welcome. That was an apology. All right, we are also looking now at the question full screen. And we are also looking at how they submit. So this was an older assessment rubric. I just have to update this, but it's still in the same line. Now, I'm coming straight away to the gaps, because if you remember quite clearly, the so-called digital divide is actually several gaps in one. List in order of priority the various gaps or factors you'd like to address in the context of your country. So the gaps, we can even look at the gaps from this paragraph, small paragraph. The gaps are already there. But let's go and make sure that we contextualize them to meet what is required by the faculty. We have an example of what we call content gap. We will list these gaps, but later on, I'll have to explain what is meant by the content gap. We also have examples like literacy gap. We've got your poverty gap. We've got your infrastructure gap. We've got your gender gap, age gap, security gap. We've got unemployment gap, disability gap. We have your geographical gap, technological anxiety gap. Some of them you can even formulate or even come up with them because of you know them from the context of where you come from. We've got ignorance gap. I think ignorance is a gap as well, according to me. Ne? We also have income gap. All right, I think let's go back. All right, I've just listed some of the gaps, and these are not all of them. I've just given you examples. I would like to demonstrate and explain one or two, then you guys help me to demonstrate one or two of your own. Now, because of some people, I'm taking the difficult one, so I'm going straight away to technological anxiety. Because of some people are so scared of technology. They've been told that, they choncha imali online. If you go there, they will steal your money. They are hackers and what. So other people prefers to go to the bank and enter inside the bank and stand in queues and be rained, even to spend more money coming to town, to the bank and going backwards just to do an EFT or transferring. So they are scared to try new things. They don't know that it's possible that we can be able to pay bills while we are seated at home, while we are chilled in our bedrooms, while we are chilled in the dining, we can make transactions. So I'm explaining to say most of the people have a technological anxiety. So I explained my technological anxiety. How can we deal with technological anxiety? In my own view, when maybe Yakupa or when maybe Nonto or Progress is attending this class, she should possibly bring one of her close friends or one of a relative who has technological anxiety and say, come sit with me. Let me show you what needs to be done. Raise awareness. In other words, I've already given you the gap, which is technological anxiety. I explained to you what I mean by technological anxiety. That's number 2. Number 3, I am actually coming up with solutions of how to solve the technological anxiety. We need to raise campaigns and awareness, but this time we need to raise these things on a family basis. That's my approach, and that's my handling to technological anxiety. So I'm now happy I've explained the technological anxiety. Let me cross to another one. Well, let's go straight away to poverty. Now, we can actually bring in statistics. We can go and get statistics on how the poverty in South Africa has affected people to such a point that right now, we need to know what is the poverty rate. And if people are poor, how will they even have the interest to engage with the digital divides, these digital devices? Like, since I've already gotten a link, I'll go and practice and show you an example of getting the link about the poverty to support my point of poverty. Now, when people are such and so poor, living in depressive environments, they are already facing challenges. For them to even think of having these devices or think of technology, technology becomes a luxury. Since technology is then luxury to them, it clearly indicates and shows me that there is no way this gap can be bridged unless we have first attended to the things that matters the most to them. Because if I say to them, come, I want to teach you computers while they are in poverty, they will be most likely offended because they will be like, this guy, with what I'm going through right now, but this guy is telling me I must learn these things. So first things first, let's attend to poverty-related matters. But let's also work on integration. Let's have programs whereby we can say, all right, since in these poverty-stricken environments, we want them to learn more about technology, because technology, if they learn it, they'll be able to even get out of poverty having learned things from these technological related matters. So we can even refer and say, looking at the people who were in the Himalayas, that was in Nangi village, which is in Nepal. So you can actually, it's in India. Because of it, there is an article that explained, that tells us about what happened that side, where there was a certain guy who used certain IT-related matters to build a robust network of Wi-Fis to ensure that people were able to communicate from the mountains. If there is some injuries going on, or if there is some sickness going on, they would communicate with the next clinic. So he used this technological device to ensure that people who are poor in the poverty-stricken side of these mountainous, which might face challenges of earthquakes and these natural disasters, they were able to communicate and report quickly what would be happening, possibilities of earthquakes going on and all that. So what I'm trying to say is, looking at, they managed to solve certain problems. The healthcare sector improved in terms of delivering services to the poor people who were poor, but through initiative of somebody who indeed was there. I've forgotten the name of the guy who was behind the project. However, this time we are talking of who is going to develop your kasi, your family. It's you. So you are an ambassador to your family. You need to be taught, and you need to be taught very well, so that you may be able to go and help your family members who you know either are poor, where when you bring them, you can then say, let you have food here, and let them have the gadgets here, let them play around and raise awareness. In that way, they will be inspired that they will not fix their eyes more on the poverty, but they will look forward to achieving a great successful life, inspiring life by having looked at these devices, technology and everything else. I had a chat with one of Usisi Yagupa was telling me how she would like to provide. Usisi Yagupa, do you mind if I can share this?
No, it's okay. You can share.
Sisi Yakupa was sharing with me how she would want to provide tutorials ekapa, because she's like, there are no tutorial centers or there's no teachings in these sectors. So Sisi Yakupa is a happy soul. She loves maths. She's so passionate about maths and she's so super qualified in some degree in maths and statistics, and she found herself in IT. She's thinking about developing. So this then helps us to say we are understanding development. Development comes by when you have been taught EUP, then you go and help other people wherever they are because you know them. I don't even know where exactly Sisina Yakupa wants to go and help people, but she knows. So by her learning EUP, she's going to learn that there are procedures that can be done, and then she will be able to take this initiative back there. She will be a hero of the people in Hekasi, because of those people don't even know how to be helped. They're just hopeless, not knowing what's going to happen. But I'm so grateful because I am of the view that through Jesus, Sisi Yakupa came to me. And through me also meeting Sisi Yakupa, I am going to inspire Sisi Yakupa to say, continue doing great things, good things. Because of somewhere down in that village, there is a president, there is a minister, there is a future head of these academic sectors. There is the leaders of the SAPS that when you teach and you help in that area, they're going to be grateful and they're going to glorify the God in heaven. They'll be so excited and they'll be thankful to God, but they have not seen God. I have not seen God. They'll be excited because of you will have touched their lives. So it's a very good initiative that I want you to know that I am so excited already after having spoken to you that you are already pumped up to go and help. So you want to help to fight poverty. You want to go and help other people from having assistance and providing them something that they don't have. But it starts with somebody. It starts with you, Yakupa. I am also of the view that the other two fellows, they also have their own stories, but in our next conversation with them, they will tell me what they would want to do, what they would want to change in their neighborhood, be it in their family, to ensure that things happen. So you are a story that is about to be executed, which will be written one day, Sisi Yakupa. So continue with that side of things. Now, coming back to my story, I was explaining to you right now about the poverty as a gap. So I listed a gap. But which one is the most important for me between poverty and technological anxiety? I would start by putting poverty first, then I put technological anxiety second. I can then list other points. Now,
but can I ask a question? Can't we put technological anxiety first? Because if you are on poverty, you are too scared to lose, like for example, doing your online banking, right? So if I'm stuck in poverty, I will have anxiety to use technology because I will lose whatever little that I have.
Right. Now, since it's you, you can put what matters the most to you, not to me, right? Because you are writing your own assignment, am I right?
Yes.
You should just be able to explain and justify why you say so, and then stand for your point.
Oh, okay.
So here
it's
is an
what's
example.
important to me.
Yes, what is important to you? Because it's about, this assignment is about you. So you are listing the points that are important to you in your own context, in your country. Are you getting it, my sister?
Yes, I am.
Now I'm going to make an example. So for me, I can maybe start my assignment. I'm using Microsoft Word. I can then say, these are my points, or these are my gaps, based on my country. I can just say maybe my country, Mozambique. Yeah, if that's Mozambique, is that correct? All right. I could maybe just do that. So I'm just trying to be nice in my speaking. So my point number one, it might be like my gap number one. It's because it's me who's writing. I said I would rather maybe go with poverty because it's me. But if you're not me, take the one that you want to go with. Then my point number two, I can say technological anxiety, right? I can list my other points. My other point, blah, blah, blah. My other point, blah, blah, blah. My other point, network. I can say infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. I can list my points. If I have my 6 or 7 points or 7 points, you can have 4 points. If you have maybe 7, 8, 10 points, it's okay. So since I've listed my points, I've done the first part, which they asked me based on question number one. The second part is to explain what I mean by poverty. So I can then explain my poverty. See, I'm now explaining. So I can explain by saying poverty. I can simply say, in my own view, Mozambique having experienced cyclone Ida, I think so. A lot of damage took place. Causing most of my people, or most of our people, or most of the people that I know going poor beyond what they were going through. I'm just giving an example. I don't know more about Mozambique, but I'm just writing as an example, even though we are South Africans. So I'm saying with all that, I can then say my story. So in other words, let's say I've typed quite a lot of things. So I say based on stats Moz. Maybe they've got stats Mozambique. We've got stats SA in South Africa. Based on stats Moz on. Maybe I want to put the link, my link. I want to look for poverty statistics. So I can then say poverty Mozambique. Poverty statistics. When we start talking about statistics, you are so excited. Am I right?
You can hear me.
Yeah, you told me so much how much you like maths and statistics. So you could actually take. So there was a publication that happened here. Maybe we could just go and say, all right. So in the event that this is where you got your statistics, you can then copy the link. You click here on top. You copy this link. can just let us know. Okay, poverty in Mozambique. So it's UNIWIDA. Right. So in my article, I come back and I say, now, so this is based on UNIWIDA. So I can either paste my link here. I put space. Can you see my link is now sort of clickable? I've selected a link which someone can follow. Like when I hover on top of it, I can see things that shows that I can be able to click this and go and verify if what is being said here is true. Because of you cannot just tell me that there is a hunger of 100% poverty in Mozambique without giving me credible. So this one, I took it because of it's an educational site, it's .edu, so it's actually credible. So we can then look further and get to read more to find out what are they saying. 18% points from 4 regions. So I'm just trying to check. You guys don't hesitate to read. If you want to read about Mozambique, you can read as much as it. Across all approaches, a coherent story emerges. At the national level, welfare levels have improved compared with the prior survey undertaken in 2008-9. National poverty rate estimates are in the range of 41 to 46% of the population, reflecting between 10.5 and 11.3 million absolutely poor people. So there's 10.5, between 10.5 and 11.3 million. This is absolutely poor people. So meaning that there are people who are indeed poor. So you can even just say, based on this article, there is approximately between 10.5 to 11.3, based on an article which was published when was this article published? Because you might find that this maybe was published 10 years ago, and we remain thinking that it's still the same even today. So we need to check when the states was what was published. So you can even simply say, based on these statistics, which was for 2009, 2008, 2009, that's when this was what gathered. We are now in 2021, and we are way beyond this period. So this can be irrelevant. But if you are in Mozambique, you'll be able to find the documents that are relevant. In South Africa, Stats SA is accurate. We do have most of our data relevant. Now, since here I Googled, but it seems like I got some data, but the data seems to be old data. Where will I find the new data? I can go and find new data maybe on other sites as I continue to read. So I wanted to show you how to bring a link, to present a link right here. But there is also another way of, which is not the same as this one. I could copy this link. I could remove it right here. Based on UNIWIDA MOZ here, you can say here, right? Then you maybe you might type. Now you come back on uni here, you select uni here. So you've selected uni and you right click on it and you say link. You click on this link. You then paste the link right here on the address. Then you say, okay. Can you see now the here is what? Clickable. You have just summarized that whole long link by just selecting it and clicking on it. I'm selecting it, then pasting the link. So you select, then you right click, then you find that. But for you to practice this, I will send you the video so that you may go through this video again and again so that you may be able, you can fast track and only attend to where you might want to attend. So that is how you can simply summarize and make your things easy. Yes, I see someone is saying Cool. Yes. Well done. Well done. I'm glad there is cool stuff going on there. Yes. All right. That's how we can just summarize. That's just a small little thing that we can start by presenting and showing. All right, that's me explaining about poverty. So here I listed my gap. Here I'm explaining my gap. But once I am done, I must also explain how the poverty gap should be solved. Because akusizi doesn't help that we just list the problems and explain what the problem is like. Now, we are explaining to say by that, it is difficult and it's impossible for them, while they are poor, to be able to prioritize IT or IT gadgets or any digital gadget unless they've started with solving the poverty gap, so that they may be able to have, they might even take gadgets as luxury. So since to them, this is luxury to have digital gadgets or digital items because of maybe they are poor, we need to then come up with a solution. What can be done? Now, most of the people, I've observed what they do here. They explain more about poverty going on, but they do not explain how that poverty affects, how it influences the digital divide. At what point do you then come and say that's the reason why these people who are poor are affected in the side? That's how poverty affects the digital divide side of things. So we are talking about bridging the digital divide. So the heading of this assignment is usually bridging the digital divide. Right. So if you want to, now Microsoft Word, you can select all of these and you center them here. You can make it even bold by clicking these. If you want to, you can even underline it. It's up to you, so that at least we can just be able to be cool. You don't have to put your student number and your name and your surname. You don't have to worry. That is all going to be taken care of. So you are doing your assignment offline on Microsoft Word. When you're done with this, you then go and paste it on the assignments. Now, you have written you must explain. So now if you list this, explain, come up with a solution. You must also do it for this. List, explain, come up with a solution. List, explain, come up with a solution till you are comfortable. If you want to make it 2-3 pages, it's up to you, as long as you are explaining and detailing correctly. Now, here's the thing. All right. Okay. So I've been asked a question. Yes, what will happen? Your assignment, when you are done writing, you will send it back to me so that I can be able to review it for you before you submit it. Because you'll find that you might have understood things not the way that I taught you. However, I'm hoping that you guys are going to do your best. So eventually when we are done, we will copy everything that we were doing. How are we going to do that? We will press Control A for selecting everything. So by that, if we select everything that is going to be here, and then we say Control C for copying. For Control C for copying, then the next thing, we are going to go to UNISA site. This is when I then say, your assignment is now on point, I'm happy. We'll then go to the discussions. You go to the discussions, you say it is lesson 1 discussions, assignment number 1, that's what you'll be dealing with. Then you come, there is a reply that you must click here. Please don't click this one, it doesn't work. Even if you click this one, also it does not work. So you click on this reply. But I also want to tell you something. When other people submit their assignments, you see quite a lot of reply. When you are going to reply to your fellow colleague, there will be another reply, which is right on where the end of that colleague's assignment will be. So here, you come and click here, and you say Control V. You will have pasted your assignment. You can still see that there is a link here. It is showing this line because of why we hid a link behind. So when you are done with that, you will then be able to click publish. Now, I could make an example and we submit. We can also be able to delete. But on this note, I don't want to submit you that one in particular. So I will then say cancel. It is possible that you can submit and delete your submission as well. I also don't suggest that you write your assignment here directly, because at times it times out and then you lose all your work. So it is a bit challenging. Rather, type your assignment somewhere on the side, put your references, put your work together from somewhere, and then when you want to submit, when you are now so sure you are done, you just come and paste right here. Some people asked me, can I use my tablet? Can I use my cell phone? Yes, you could use your tablet, but there are things that you would be limited to do. So I would suggest you use rather a PC, a computer, which has Microsoft Word or any other Word document, which you'll be able to copy and paste and interact and put your things. But also, you could just type a lot of things, paste them here. If let's say you have typed on the side, you can come and spend maybe 10 minutes doing some formatting. Let's say you had not done this option here. You didn't have this link. So here, let's say in your assignment, there was no, it was just is like here. It was like this, because you were typing on a tablet or on a cell phone. Now, if you come here, when you're about to submit and you select this, you can indeed put a link. How will you put a link on this one? Allow me to just quickly check. You have this sign which shows something like a link. If you click it, it will then say what URL do you want to put. You paste your URL, which is the link that you found from wherever. Then you say, okay, it is still appearing as here. In that way, it makes things easier. If you want to put this in italics, you can put them like this. If you want to put in this in bold, you can select that and put bold. It's up to you, so that at least your work may be presentable and be nice when you submit, so that the formatting should be on point. Also, as you can see, you can still see my topic is the bridging of the digital divide. The advantages of using Word, when you copy from Word and you paste here, it takes and brings the formatting as best as possible. No, the question, do not attach, that's not what, you're not supposed to do that. Can you see here, it's written reply. Now, when you say reply, there is an option right here to choose file. Do not use this option, because when you submit, you make it difficult for other people to read and be able to comment on your assignment. So use this approach that I've indicated to you. Do not use, yes, you could choose file and upload and submit, but you make it difficult for people to read in your assignment because they have to download and all that. So over all these years, it has always been something that was being discouraged. So I also would like to discourage you to use this option at the moment. Rather paste here. Then when you are done pasting, you click publish. Your assignment will have been submitted. You will be left with the last part of the assignment. If you remember the last part of the assignment, what will it be? It will be to comment to 3 other students. As it is, no one has posted here. No one has posted in this group. But if you watch one of my other videos that I did, 2007, is 2018, somewhere there, 2017 or 2018, the video that I did explains this and how to submit. We even submit together, they just showing examples and everything else. So since we are now doing this for 2021, no assignment has been submitted at the moment, and UNISA has been facing quite a couple of challenges, but I believe that very soon we'll have crossed these challenges with them. And I believe that one way or the other, we'll work together to ensure that the challenges has been resolved, so that at least we may be more effective and efficient to fight against all the challenges, the negativity that they might be facing, so that we may be able to cross forward. Other than that, I've explained to you on assignment number 1 what is required. Then after that, we will have to handle this third option, which is the comparing of my lists and that of others. Now, you guys, since you asked me to teach you EUP, you have the privileges of asking questions when you do not understand, but I want you to practice asking questions in the group, so that sometimes you ask me a question that Yakupa can be able to answer. So Nonto will have to ask a question on the group where Yakupa will be able to just answer and say 1, 2, 3 things. So it actually promotes to you to be flexible, to be comfortable. And at the same time, you might find that Progress, since she's here in Pretoria, she might be able to get maybe times where she might physically come and ask me questions. So she might be able to answer you guys' questions much faster. Now, Progress is studying BCom Informatics, which is the degree that I studied. So she loves informatics as well. So she will be able to ask questions nearby, and I'll be able to assist and answer questions betterly. In a nutshell, don't hesitate to interact with each other on the group. With that being said, I would like to believe that I've covered everything that I wanted you to everything that I wanted to be covered. All right, and then if you need more, don't hesitate to ask our admin. If you need any clarity, yes, we can assist you in different ways, teach you individually. We can even cover this module in a month. We'll be able to finish the most complicated stuff depending on your speed. Whichever way, I'm available for you to assist you as best as possible. And I think our admin is always ready to assist you as best as possible. And this is also the main admin number. You do have Reed to assist you with your individual challenges. If you are running late or if you are behind with your schedules, if you can't get hold of me, Ree is always available to assist as much as possible. There are others as well that are available that you will be able to know as time goes on. In that, or on that note, or with that manner, I would like to ask you guys to ask me questions pertaining to what I've been teaching you, even pertaining to an example. I can give you even further examples here, but you can ask me where you would want to ask questions. I'll start with the first one. Sisnonto, you were here early. The early bird catches the freshest worm. What do you want, my sister? I'll give it to you.
I think I'm covered for now. It's just that I'm a bit stressed on IT lab. How does it work? Are we writing assignments as well? Or
can I say this, my sister?
Okay.
I want you to relax. You don't have to stress about my TLabs. That is one of the most easiest thing that we have in UNISA.
Okay.
Because I will teach you very well. I will even show you and explain to you what is required. So I will be there to guide you.
Okay.
Meaning that don't even waste even one stress. I don't know how many stresses you are currently having on assignment about but if you can just make sure that you take your stresses, you bring them to me, just make sure that you leave them with me. Ne?
Okay.
And then you go and do assignment number 1 if you have understood it, because of that assignment is the one that stresses me.
Okay.
Why I say it stresses me, you have to go and write down, put things down, bring them to me, and I see if you understood what I was teaching, and then I share with you, you go back, you write, you come back, and then we submit. That assignment contributes to section A of the portfolio. So I want us to get it right from the beginning. Is it clear, Sisi?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
So relax on assignment number 2. Don't stress yourself about assignment number 2. Focus on assignment number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. At the moment, remember, we are moving like on a weekly basis. So you'll find that we're going to have our second class next week. So our second class next week, I will have to be teaching you basic things of assignment number 2. I'll be preparing and starting with you on assignment number 2. So if you are able to finish for me assignment number 1 between now and our next class, like finish and we have reviewed, I'll be very excited because we'll be able to move with assignment number 2 properly again next week. So you then understand why I say don't stress.
Okay, are we having classes on Mondays or on Tuesdays?
Let me simply say, my wife is due, so she's expecting this week.
Oh, okay.
So I do not know how I'll be I'll be dancing or excited to as I hold the first child in my life. Ne?
Okay.
So if I go too excited and I start spinning and running, just understand me, okay? Just bear with me. You'll still pass. I will help you. Okay. But if I come back and I say, let's just have it on Monday or Tuesday, depending on our agreement, all of us will still be able to be flexible so that at least we can accommodate each other. You can just talk on the group and you just check with admin. Admin will also let me know, Mr. T, I've set this class for you for this day and this time. So I will always be available for you till I see a distinction.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're dancing and holding the baby, don't drop it.
Drop the baby.
No, don't drop the baby. How much you're excited, please.
I would rather drop myself, not the baby. Don't worry.
I'm not so sure about the excitement.
You see, the thing is, I've been looking forward for this day for I don't know how long, eh?
Yeah,
I'm just very
good
excited.
luck, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so I'm so excited. I can't wait to be called Tata or Baba.
Abu Tandai.
Yes, this Abu Tandai must end. Brati. No, I must. When I come back from that day, I want you to be calling me Baba Tendai.
Forget.
Listen to these people. And when you were late, I'm gonna find you.
What I know is that if you allow us to call you Baba, what? You are allowing us to make you old. I personally don't want to feel old.
It's me who's old. You just don't know how old I am. It's just that you see, but kukutanda. Well, you
no, I'm
know,
not going there. Hi.
You know that I'm old when you see me.
No way.
Yeah, this guy is, that's exciting. I'm excited that I've explained to you. So yeah, are you comfortable that we have our classes on Monday or Tuesday? Or we should be
I'm
flexible?
open for any of the days.
Any of
I'm
the
open
days?
for Monday.
Or you're open for Monday. The thing is, if you guys move faster, we could even have a class every day to cover the syllabus much quicker and be able to complete everything and actually be done with this module quickly.
With me, I'm fine. It's just that we have to communicate in advance because sometimes I am busy after hours. So
All right. I do understand. So communication is important.
please.
It's okay. We'll ensure that we communicate and don't hesitate to raise your concerns. Let's say when there was just a small miscommunication. Even if we say, let's cancel the class, all of us, we agree. So what's more important is about all of us. We just need to move with agreements, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you miss a class, you can always watch it on Zoom because I will save the class for you on a video.
Okay.
All right, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say at the moment. I asked also Sisinondo, and you said now you're fine. Let's go to Sisiagupa. Tell me, Sisiagupa. Any question?
For me, I don't really have a question, right?
Yes.
It's more like a comment, because our first call, or maybe our first engagement, I was like, I've been reading EUP and I don't know what is this all about. And I was like, why do we, like, is it really necessary for us to read? Because I don't even understand the overview of the module. But now that, especially after I went through the video, and then now like on the class, giving us more example, so it's much clearer of what is expected of me.
I'm glad to hear this, and thank you for giving a comment. Can I then ask, which video is much more clearer? The one that I did in the past and this one that I've just taken you through? I know you joined late, but at least you knew that you had watched the video. So which one do you think is better?
I think because this one is recent, so this one is reliable. But it's not so different from the 2018 one, because the steps are still the same steps, and like how like after you write your assignment on the Word document, how do you post it there? You know, all the steps that you showed us like today, it's what I also saw on the video. So it's not like something totally new, but I would say there isn't much difference. You know, so from you explaining, you know, and then watching the video, giving us more examples, like now in the class, it helped me very much to, you know, to be aware and what is expected of me.
I think you gave me feedback. I appreciate for the feedback that you have already explained to me. And I'm hoping that indeed this is now indeed going to usher us into a distinction. Yes, the interface has changed. The system changed. The UNISA system changed. So because of that, that's the reason why this indeed is more relevant. It's more like if I'm talking to you and you go and check on the MyUnisa, you are seeing the same things that I'm seeing. Unlike the previous one, you might be like, I don't see this, but okay, yeah, that one I do see. So I just thought, let's update and give you this latest thing now.
No, but anyway, for me, I don't have a question for now. But maybe I'll, like you said, we have to send our assignment to you before we submit them on UNISA. So I think then that engagement, I'll start having like questions, and then, you know, you making things clearer for me, and then me also giving like elaboration on maybe on the points I'll be writing on. I think let me first write something, and then as much as you'll be reviewing my assignment, maybe I'll then have maybe upcoming questions, or maybe questions I'll be having while I'm writing, you know, all that stuff. So I don't have questions for now, but I'm not saying there won't be any question, but keep that gap open.
All right. I just want to elaborate the same part as well, because there are times when I remember certain things as I'm talking. Let's say you are shy to ask on the group. I do understand when you even ask me privately, but the reason why I would encourage you to speak on the group, it makes also other people to be comfortable to speak, because we've got different personalities. There are people that are outspoken, they can speak and they are fluent and they are like these. But others, you told we are those ones that comes to your 100,000 and 100 runs and and the 70 million. You know them, ne? Yes, those ones. Please just bear with them. We are all different. I struggled when I did my high school. I failed English the first time, but I then went later on and got helped to say, no, the reason why you fail English is you don't read. You don't read novels. You don't read newspapers. I never read those things. So I failed my English always. I had to go and rewrite for me to be able to pass. Right now, I'm confident to speak right in front of you. I'm comfortable to speak anytime, anyway. I don't even have to think. I can just start thinking there when I'm about to speak, because I'm now comfortable. So let's make sure that we are all very much comfortable to express ourselves. However, I also leave another gap, rather another door, to say, if you are not comfortable to speak on the group, don't hesitate to speak to me privately. I think I've just outlined this one. Progi, can you please tell us what's happening that side? Your comment, your questions?
Okay, on my side, I think you explained quite good, that I get everything on how we will be doing the assignments and yeah, everything actually. For now, I don't have any question. I think if I attempt my assignment and send it to you and check it, yeah, we're gonna be good.
Okay, I'm pretty much glad to hear this. So out of 10, Progi, what would you give me according to your own, based on the interaction with me in this class? Out of 10, how would you give me?
I would give you a 10, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Let me go back. Emma Klosen, ewe.
I'll give you a 15/10.
Ndiyabulela. Nina nithanda over-exaggerate. Uzozo omunye athi mina ndibe ndiku-Robben Island ndahamba neenyawo, ndahamba phezulu kwamanzi lawo.
That's closest for you. That's closest for you.
All right.
Do you want my 15 or what?
Can you just put 15 and put an R before the 15 and put in 3 zeros after the 15? Yeah.
But other than that, like so far, I'm quite happy. Like I'm very happy.
I'm glad. I'm glad you're happy. If you are happy, I am very happy as well. Lastly, Sisinonto, kabo mshini wa. Oh, koje Sisinonto use not Newcastle, Peter. So representing the mshini wa.
Capital city.
Oh, the capital city of the Zululand.
No, South Africa.
All right, so let's hear ukuthi lapho niyancishana or niyapana.
Well, I was gonna say 50%, but okay. Go bang ngifuna I'm gonna say 100%.
Yabona sesibeka nje kanje, ndiyabulela, ndiyabonga, ngiyathokoza konke, ngiyakumixa nje kuyaleboga from right here, Pretoria, the city where God lives. So you guys enjoy as much as you can that side. And I'm looking forward to getting, and I'll be communicating who's going to be the first person to give me all these responses and everything else. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate also you guys coming to seek assistance from me. It excites me when I help you, because I feel like I'm helping my fellow people, because I've seen people struggling, and failing is purely because of lack of understanding and lack of knowledge. I sometimes say failing is a choice. When you have people like us, people who are passionate to see you guys passing, I am going to be to you. I will hold you by hand till you see your distinction. I will shambok you. When I see that you are lazy, I will shambok you. Trust me, to ensure that we get a distinction, because I don't produce failures. So you guys, thank you so much for being there. Thank you for staying with me. I think we all started, if I'm not mistaken, we started this class around about quarter to 6. So now it's 27 past 7. Can we close this class for now? And I wait then to hear your feedback moving forward. Eh?
Yeah, no problem.
Much appreciated. Have a great week. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye, Sis Nonto. Bye, Sis Yagupa. Bye, Progress.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a good evening.
All right. Thank you.